Hi, everybody. Welcome to Module 5. We are quickly barreling down towards the end of our course, and I'm very excited for all the upcoming assignments that we've got. I know that there's quite a few, but at the same time, they're also very fun. So we are going to dive into Module 5, and this announcement is for both of my courses because my 14-week and my 16-week courses are now on the same track because of our little because of Module 4. So this will be for both courses. If you see any discrepancies, please email me, but I think that we're both on the same page. Okay, so this week we're diving into Module 5, and our focus is going to be on historical fiction and nonfiction, as well as informational reading. And this tends to have a lot of good response. I know a lot of children really enjoy, especially informational text, because they're learning about a subject as well as getting that reading in. So that's a pretty popular genre for a lot of children. Okay, let's click on our historical fiction tab and find out what we've got going on this week. So I know that you had to submit your Bloom's Ball just last week, recently, and we are working on now getting our third literature study. I know it came up very quickly, but Boy in the Striped Pajamas is a very fast read. It can be done very quickly. So the biggest thing we've got on deck is that our literature study is due this week. So the first thing you're going to do is read about historical fiction in Module 5. And then, of course, you will complete your reading organizer for historical fiction, which will be due Tuesday night, as always. And then our reading commentary this week is going to be focusing on historical fiction and biographies. Your initial post, of course, will be due Thursday night, and then your response post to your peers is always due on Sunday. So let's take a look and see what we're doing with our reading commentary this week. Going to find 2 books from the list that I've provided here. These are great resources for children. This is a wonderful resource to bookmark for the classroom. So pick a book from either Bookworm for Kids or Scott Odell Award winners. Excellent choices here of books that you can choose from. So you're going to pick 2 of them and read both. They can be from the same list, or they can be one from each site if you prefer. When reading the book, pay attention to what age and grade level the book would be best for. What category of historical fiction does this book belong to? What time period is the book set in? And what literary techniques does the author use? And what authentic historical characters, events, or time period is the book associated with? This can all be reviewed in your reading. So again, the reading commentary will help you become familiar with all the key terms for historical fiction. As you're making your post, of course, you want to include the title, the author, and the grade or age that you feel the book would be best suited for. And then kind of break it down just as I did. The category, what is it, fantasy, adventure, humor, or mystery? If you're not sure, review Module 5 historical fiction. How do you know? So give me some examples of how you were able to know what category it's from. The time period, our historical fictions discuss 9 different time periods. Which is your book suited in one sentence is just fine. Literary techniques, this is going to be straight from our text as well. Describe at least one literary technique the author uses and give an example from the book. Use the type of literary technique discussed in our historical fiction text. This should be 2 to 3 sentences, pretty easy. And then authentic association. Is the book connected with a specific authentic person, time, period, or event? It should be a real event or time period or person that has existed. Describe what your book is associated with and what a reader will learn about that person or event or period from that reading. Of course, please attach an image of the actual book or the e-reader, such as a Kindle, to the story or to the commentary, and of course you want to do this 2 times for 2 different books. So that's our commentary for the week. And then the next focus is on Boy in the Striped Pajamas, which is our third literature study, which means we only have one more. So this one, a lot of times I have people email me and say, well, I borrowed the book, therefore I wasn't able to actually highlight. That's fine. If you have a book checked out from the library, you do not have to actually mark up the book. You can use sticky notes to kind of point to the things that I'm asking you to do. So in your Boy in the Striped Pajamas book, you are going to focus on 4 consecutive chapters in the book. You're not going to highlight the whole thing. And use a highlighter or sticky notes to identify key points in the story, and which would be yellow, and then pink highlighter or sticky note for key vocabulary words. So this will be done for 4 of the chapters. It can be any 4 chapters of your choosing. You're going to share a minimum of 8 pictures, 2 for each chapter, showing the different pages that you highlighted. So if you have the copy of the book and you're going to actually mark it up with your pink and yellow highlighter, that's great. Do so and take a photo of each page. If not, then you will use your sticky notes, yellow for the key points in the story and pink for the highlighted vocabulary words, and take a picture of that. So, and if you have an e-reader such as a Kindle, you should be able to highlight. I don't think you will be able to differentiate with yellow and pink. So if you could just determine how you're going to let me know what you've highlighted that's yellow and what you've highlighted that is pink, I'm okay with that as well. But I would like you to communicate with me in some way, whether it be in the text submission box or something like that. Just communicate with me. Then you will use the Boy in the Striped Pajamas template, which is here. And I'm going to toggle back. And of course, you need to make a copy of the template because it's just a Google Doc. You're very familiar with that with our reading organizers. So make a copy of the template, and then after you've taken your picture of the highlighted key points and keywords in the book, you're still going to include them in this template. So you're going to list the vocabulary words. It should be at least 20 words identified in the 4 chapters that you're focusing on. And these will be vocabulary words that are specific to the age or grade level that you are intending this for. Choose 5 of the words from your list and create illustrations or find illustrations to depict each word. Share your document with the words associated. So let's jump back here. So if we jump back here to our template, you'll see in this section here will be the pictures of the images that you took pictures of in the book, of the highlighted yellow and key points. And then the next slot here will be listing at least 20 of the vocabulary words that you had highlighted up here. Just list them out across the 4 chapters. You don't have to put definitions or anything. I just want the actual words included. And then out of those 20 words, you need to pick 5 of your favorite, or 5 words that you feel that would be the most interesting to illustrate, whatever your criteria. Include the word and then get an illustration or an image that represents that word. Many of you are artists, so if you want to draw it out, that's fantastic. If you want to use an image from that you find online, that's completely fine. So just include the image for each of the vocabulary words, your top 5 of your 20 that you listed. The next thing you want to do is describe why the vocabulary is important and what teachers should consider when working on vocabulary with students. So think about you're using this literature study to introduce important vocabulary words. So why would these words be important? Why is vocabulary in general important? And give me at least 2 examples from your book that support the idea. So 2 specific in-text citations, if you will, from the book that support the idea of introducing new vocabulary to the students and why that is important, and how literature gives us the opportunity to not only read wonderful works of art, but then introduce new concepts such as new vocabulary. So I want to see a nice, healthy paragraph here discussing the role of vocabulary as we read. The next question, describe the grade level you think this book could be read with, and what content area or unit would you place it in? So obviously this is a historical fiction book, so you will likely consider placing it in a content unit such as social studies or something like that, but you're welcome to think outside the box and find other areas that you might be able to weave it in. If we could do a whole thematic unit where we have different areas of curriculum, that's even more exciting for students. And consider this book. This is a pretty heavy book. Although it's an easy, light read, the content is pretty heavy. So be thoughtful in the grade level that you think that this book would be best geared towards. And so then give me an explanation of why. So what the grade level, why you think it would be good, and the area or content unit you would place it in, and why. So I'd like to have examples. What kinds of activities might you use this book with in that specific content area or unit? And then lastly, find one other text that would complement Boy in the Striped Pajamas. That would also be a good fit for content area in the unit. Describe how this other book or text would support the same type of event or history as The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and why you think it is a good book to read along with before or after Boy in the Striped Pajamas. There's a lot of wonderful books that are based around the Holocaust or not 2002, World War II. So I know that you can find some wonderful texts that would go alongside this. My one tip is be mindful of the age that you have chosen to discuss. Because sometimes books that you think are really wonderful that would go along with the same theme might not be appropriate for the grade level that you originally discussed. So if you think that Boy in the Striped Pajamas is best for 6th grade, then I want you to be mindful in the book that you are suggesting to go along with Boy in the Striped Pajamas, that should be comparable and go along with 6th graders as well. It shouldn't be too high or too low. It should be very right around that same age. And the same thing, if you go younger age level, then be very, very mindful about the appropriateness of the book. So they should go hand in hand, be able to be read at the same time, same age group. That is your literature study. So again, you're focusing on only 4 chapters of this book, but I caution you, do not only read 4 chapters, you must read this entire book to get the full gist and understanding of this book. The deeper you go, the more intense it becomes, and it's really, really important, and I please recommend that you do read the whole thing. It's a very easy read, so don't be too put off by that. Okay, that's going to be due this Sunday. I believe that is April 7th. Jumping back, I only have about a minute left of my announcement. Please continue to be reading with your Read Aloud project. You should be really doing well with your readers. Don't forget your journal template to be logging in those hours. And then next week when we look ahead, we will be talking about informational text and taking a look at informational text and biographies in our reading commentary. Lastly, guys, I'm a little behind on grading. I don't know what happened. I turned my head and bam. So please bear with me. I am going to be hyper vigilant about getting the grades in this week, and I do apologize for making you wait a little bit. It's not like me to go over a week, but it seems to have happened. So just have some patience. I'm getting it in, and as always, I'm here. Email me through Canvas if you need anything. If you have any questions about Boy in the Striped Pajamas or any other assignments, I'm here. Please also know that I will be publishing Module 6 tonight, so that you can kind of look ahead. There's a lot coming due in Module 6, so I need to publish it as soon as possible to give you a lot of heads up. Okay, everyone, have a wonderful week, and we'll talk about informational text and probably look ahead into Module 6 next week. Bye-bye.